Okay, I'm back to putting the rest of this together for the soup. I'm getting the spices together, and you've got 2 bay leaves that I'm going to break up and put into this, I guess it's a tea strainer for fresh tea. Never used it for that, but works really good for bay leaves. I don't have to fish them out later out of the soup. Just close that up, and that'll go into our pot here in a second. Okay, in this container I have about maybe a little bit over a teaspoon of parsley, which is just flakes. And then in this one I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt. And then in this container I have about a 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. And then with that, just salt and pepper to taste. Those are all going to go into the big pot back there on the stove. I'll get that going here in a minute, and I'll get back with you. Okay, I'm back again, and now I'm going to put together the soup. I'm going to start out by taking from my food processor the onions and the garlic that I minced up in here. Much easier than trying to do it by hand. Get rid of that. Take this off of here. And I'm going to put them right in the bottom of the pan. Okay, and next I'm going to add some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, whatever kind of oil you want to use. I just don't want them sticking in the bottom of the pan. And about 2-3 tablespoons. Next I'm going to turn my stove on to medium high, and I'm just going to let them sit there and cook for about 2 minutes. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes and my onions are still getting kind of fragrant over there. So I'm just going to go ahead and add all the spices in there right now so they can start blooming and kind of get the best of their flavor. And pepper. Okay, I'm going to give them a quick stir, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken stock to that, and also the chicken. Everything's starting to get fragrant and smelling good. I could use a bigger whisk, but I like that one for some reason. Very quick, very simple, easy to make. It does take a little while to cook because you want to make sure that everything's cooked through. And I like to actually cook my chicken in the chicken broth while it's cooking. It adds to the flavor of the soup rather than just taking chicken that's already been cooked and adding it to it. Okay, so there's my 3 chicken stocks. To that I'm going to go ahead and add that chicken, the frozen chicken breast that I have here, about a pound's worth. And that's just going to sit there and cook up I'm also going to add the potatoes because those take a little while to cook, and I don't like my potatoes to be crunchy. I like them just to dissolve in my mouth. So I've got the 2 potatoes sliced and diced right there, and I'll put them in there. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this back up to more like towards high, and I'm just gonna let it sit for probably about 45 minutes. Then I'm gonna pull the chicken out. I'm gonna cut that up, re-enter it back into there, add the peas and the carrots, and then add the noodles to it and let it simmer for about another 45 minutes. Okay, I got all my chicken chopped up. I'm out of my soup, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix it back in with it. I just cut it up with a knife and a fork and just call it good enough for who it's for. Get all that good stuff in there. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm going to take my bag of frozen peas and carrots and incorporate it in there with it, so that way they get a chance to cook for about 10 minutes or so. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit, and we're going to add the noodles and take it from there. Okay, I've let the soup sit for about 10 minutes, and I've got the noodles ready to go in. They come in little clumps like this, and I just break them up into the bowl, into the pot. Seems like a lot of noodles, but it's good in there. And the few last little ones in the bottom of the box. Give it a little bit of a stir. And I'm going to leave that sit for about 10, 15, 20 minutes, somewhere right around there. Make sure the noodles are cooked all the way through before eating it. But it's ready to go. All you have to do now is ladle it up into a bowl and chomp on down.